Hey, you Bob here. 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 Before we begin, I just want to thank you all for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. It's genuinely a dream come true. I never thought we would reach this number this fast, but the growth has been insane recently. I really do appreciate every single one of you who watches my videos and subscribe. Today I'll be building the Winry 67, a 65% hot swap stacked acrylic sandwich mounted keyboard. I originally came across this while browsing Taobao and it caught my eye. As of my knowledge, there are currently no other reviews on it, so I decided to pick one up for around 94 USD and check it out myself. It does come pre-assembled with switches and stabilizers installed, however I will not be using these. It comes with a bag of accessories that contain a generic braided USB-C cable, 2 large feet, and a bunch of smaller rubber feet ranging in different sizes. Okay, so to disassemble, I begin by removing 10 screws and taking apart the layers. Now that the acrylic has been removed, we can see that it uses a carbon fiber plate and the stabilizers look like Everglide screw-ins. More on that later. Taking out the switches, I can now remove the 5 screws holding the plate and PCB together. Taking out the plate allows me to remove the stabilizers. After taking a closer look, it turns out these are actually Everglide V1 PCB screw-in stabilizers that have been attempted to be looped. In addition, we can see the seller did apply pieces of fabric tape under the stabilizers. With some modding, these can actually sound pretty good. Finally, we can take a closer look at the PCB itself. It does use north-facing sockets, meaning with most switches, cherry profile keycaps will have interference. It is connected via USB-C and supports QMK via, however not officially. You have to download the files from the seller. To begin modding, I throw in some PE foam and apply tape to the backside. These mods give the board a more defined, poppy sound. After that, I install wholly modded and looped Everglide V2 screw-in stabilizers. Alright, now that I'm done with the PCB, I can begin reassembly. Putting this thing back together was actually a bit difficult as the small screws holding the plate and the PCB together were held in by small standoffs. Having shaky ass hands, getting everything to line up correctly took me some time. However, in the end, I did manage to get everything back together and moved on to poking holes in the PE foam. This just makes sure the switches don't become unseated over time. Moving on to the switches, I'll be using Durac L7s, filmed and looped with Crytox 205 Grade 0. They're a great mid-range linear switch, smooth and sound great. After installing the switches, we can start restacking the layers and screwing everything back together. Now you may be wondering why I'm wearing gloves for this part. It's to prevent fingerprints on the clear acrylic. After tightening the screws, we can move on to the final steps, installing the keycaps. The client did decide to go with the GMK Olivia clones as they like the pink and white theme. They are double shot ABS, they feel high quality, and the legends are actually really sharp. With that said, the build is now complete. So my thoughts on this keyboard are mostly positive. To begin with, as seen earlier, they come with Gateron yellow switches, however the seller does offer Gateron reds and browns as well. In addition, Durac V1 screw-in stabilizers are also included. As mentioned, the keyboard costs around 94 USD in total. However, the switches and stabilizers are worth around $31, so the actual cost for the keyboard alone is around 63 USD. This is nice for those of you who are just looking to purchase everything at once and avoid buying from multiple vendors. All you need is a set of keycaps and the keyboard is now set and fully functional. Another positive about this keyboard is that it uses a carbon fiber plate. It's a stiffness balance between aluminum and polycarbonate. Furthermore, it uses a sandwich mount style, which is much better compared to the usual tray mount, providing a more even and less stiff typing experience. Finally, the PCB is hot swap and supports QMK and VIA, but as I mentioned earlier, you do have to download the files from the seller. However, there are a few downsides. The sockets are north facing, meaning that there will be interference with cherry profile keycaps. As you saw in the typing test, this is a mistake I actually made, as I originally thought the sockets were south facing, but in the end, the client did change to Aqua SA keycaps. Adding on, the PCB is actually hand soldered as the man is very small. I don't think this should really affect anything, however, it's just something to keep in mind. But aside from these factors, overall, I believe this keyboard kit is actually a fair deal for its price. All parts will be linked in the description. Anyways, that's basically it for this video. Once again, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. I do have a lot more videos coming up, and as always, thank you for watching.